From pandemic politics to two Indias, from Atmanirbhar Bharat to the concept of nationhood, Prime Minister Narendra Modi today launched a frontal attack on the Congress in Lok Sabha. He spoke for over an hour and a half and he not only accused the Congress of pandemic politics, but also accused the Congress of being a leader of the Tukde Tukde gang. The Prime Minister also insisted that it was the Congress's colonial mindset that the country wasn't being taken forward when the Congress was in power. The Prime Minister accused the Congress of engaging in ugly politics during the pandemic, saying that the Congress crossed all limits. Sari had par kar di. Let's listen in to the Prime Minister.
कोरोना एक वैश्विक महामारी थी, लेकिन उसे भी दलगत राजनीति के लिए उपयोग में लाया जाए, क्या ये मानवता के लिए अच्छा है? भारत जैसे
आपको मैं प्लीज
माननीय अध्यक्ष जी,
मैंने अधीर रंजन जी आपको पर्याप्त समय
माननीय अध्यक्ष जी,
प्लीज
माननीय अध्यक्ष जी, मैंने तो किसी का नाम नहीं दिया। कोई भी टोपी पहन लेने की क्या जरूरत है जी?
अरे क्यों?
लेकिन जब आप खड़े ही हो गए तो अब मैं नाम दे करके बोलना चाहता हूं। अब आप खड़े ही हो गए हैं तो मैं नाम दे करके बोलना चाहता हूं। इस कोरोना काल में कांग्रेस ने तो हद कर दी।
असंगठित जो सेक्टर है उस पर आपने आक्रमण किया। कैसे किया? नोटबंदी, गलत जीएसटी और कोरोना के समय जो सपोर्ट उनको देना था आपने नहीं दिया। नतीजा क्या हुआ? नतीजा यह हुआ कि आज 84% हिंदुस्तान के लोगों की आमदनी घटी है।
Joining me now on the broadcast is Nasir Hussain, Member of Parliament of the Congress Party, and Sanju Verma faces off with him, Sanju Verma of the Bharatiya Janata Party. Nasir Hussain, respond to the Prime Minister saying Congress crossed all limits, हद हो गई, मुफ्त में टिकट दिया कि महाराष्ट्र पर बोझ कम हो, जाओ उत्तर प्रदेश और बिहार जाओ।
Gaurav, I think not only Congress party, all the opposition parties and also the Bharatiya Janata Party, wherever they were in power, had to arrange buses, trains, bullock carts, rickshaws, whatever was trucks, tractors, whatever was possible to see that the people who are suffering, the people, those who are insecure, the people, those who wanted to go back to their lands are rescued and they are ferried. It is not just the Congress party, everyone, and we take pride in ferrying them back. If the government of India failed to address their issues, if they failed to get them back to their villages, if the government of India left them on the roads, it was the Congress party which went to the rescue of these people to see that they reach their homes safely. Small kids, pregnant women, elderly people, laborers, they were traveling by foot to their places. If you at least have some sort of an empathy for the people of this country, the people, those who were dying on the street, dying on the roads, you have seen the kind of images that were coming on your TV channels.
Okay.
You have seen the kind of images that were there on the social media platform. You had to rescue and taking
Okay,
it.
so you are saying Congress did a
party,
rescue act.
Even the BJP
Respond,
government, whether
Sanju
it was in
Verma. The
Karnataka
Congress says the
or
BJP
Goa,
failed.
or Uttar Pradesh, or
By
Gujarat,
the point
or
that the
Jharkhand
Prime Minister
did arrange
made,
for something.
Nasir Hussain, was that the World Health Organization had asked people to stay put where they were, and Sanju Verma, the Congress says that is where it was the government in power that failed to provide for people where they were, and that is why in panic people came out on the streets.
Now, I don't want to be interrupted because I did not heckle the gentleman. I want my entire time. You know, I think first and foremost, let's be very clear that the Tukde Tukde gang has been legitimized by the Congress. From rehabilitating the likes of a Kanhaiya Kumar, who said, Bharat tere tukde honge, inshallah, inshallah.
Ma'am, I'll come to Tukde Tukde in a moment. Sorry, I asked you a very specific question where the Prime Minister has accused the Congress of PAP. The Congress says that the BJP failed in providing for people where they were, ma'am. I'll come to Tukde Tukde subsequently, but respond to the question I've asked.
Okay, fine. God, first and foremost, let me tell you that during the pandemic, please understand 81 crore people were being provided with free ration every single month, and it is continuing. The government has already spent more than 2.87 lakh crore from this point number one. Point number two, I do not want to say that every death is just a mere statistic. That is being very insensitive. But please tell me one thing. The United States, with a population of 33 crore, has reported more than 9 lakh deaths. I think with a 138 crore population, we have reined in the death number at 4.5 lakh odd. And I think that has happened only because of the political conviction of courage of the Modi government, which went ahead with the largest vaccination drive, despite vaccine hesitancy, which was propagated by the Congress in no small measure. Do you remember, Gaurav, in April 2021, I remember Manish Tiwari, Shashi Tharoor and Jairam Ramesh put out similar tweets when Bharat Biotech Covaxin was given emergency approval. They said, Arey, Modi Sarkar is treating Indians like guinea pigs. Today, Bharat Biotech Covaxin has got approval from the World Health Organization, and Congress leaders have a big fat omelette on their face.
We'll get the Congress to respond to that charge also. Okay, before I come to the next set of the attack, fair enough. Nasir Hussain wants to respond to you.
Let me please finish.
So
You did not give me time to finish.
No, hold on. I gave you ample time, but you chose to go on vaccine instead of when people were out on the streets. My question was very specific, ma'am. Time is, limited. So my request to both my guests is stay on the issue. But since you raised the issue of vaccine, Nasir Hussain, you raised your hand. You wanted to respond. The BJP accuses the Congress of encouraging vaccine hesitancy, where the national endeavor should have been to encourage people to take the vaccine and perhaps remain safer, sir.
Gaurav, again coming back to the migrant workers issue, I don't know what made the Prime Minister to wake up after 2 years and accuse the Congress party of spreading COVID in the country. He didn't have any content. It was a Lakshadari speech, one of the most arrogant speeches of any Prime Minister has delivered in the Parliament.
Ample time will be given to both guests. My request is speak one by one, please.
He didn't have any figures.
Only Mr. Nasir Hussain, please.
Rahul Gandhi. He didn't understand what Rahul Gandhi wanted to convey. So he went on accusing the Congress party of what Congress party has done and what Nehru has done. See, this is what happened in the parliament today. They didn't have any answers, no data, no figures, nothing in his speech except for accusing the Congress party of whatever is happening in the country today. So
Sir,
I think
Congress ne had par kar di, accusing the Congress also other opposition parties of fear mongering. Sir, that's a very grave charge that the Prime Minister leveled, but that wasn't the only charge. Also, India, a country from Himalayas to the Indian Ocean, we are one country, are we not? The Prime Minister's big attack on Rahul Gandhi. Listen in.
कांग्रेस पार्टी का सत्ता में आने की इच्छा खत्म हो चुकी है, लेकिन जब कुछ मिलने वाला नहीं है तो कम से कम बिगाड़ तो दो। ये फिलॉसफी पर आज निराशावादी, लेकिन उस मोह में बर्बाद कर करके छोड़ेंगे, इस मोह में देश में वो बीज बो रहे हैं जो अलगाव की जड़ों को मजबूत करने वाले हैं। सदन में ऐसी बातें हुई कि जिसमें देश के कुछ लोगों को उकसाने का भरपूर प्रयास किया गया।
If you read the Constitution of India, you will find, and many of my colleagues who have not read it should look at it, you will find that India is described as a union of states. India is not described as a nation, it is described as a union of states. What does that mean? That means my brother from Tamil Nadu has to have the same right as my brother from Maharashtra, as my sister from Maharashtra, as my brother from Uttar Pradesh, as my brother from Bihar, as my sister from Manipur, Nagaland, Mizoram. That's what it means. What it means, Jammu Kashmir, of course Jammu Kashmir, Nagaland, of course, Andaman Nicobar, of course. That is Lakshadweep. Now what is the difference? You have to understand this. I go to my brother in Tamil Nadu and I say, what do you want? And he says, this is what I want. And then he asks me, what do you want? And I say, this is what I want. It is a partnership. It is not a kingdom. Remember that. You will never, ever in your entire life rule over the people of Tamil Nadu. It cannot be done. You will never, ever in your life rule over these other people. Please listen to what I'm saying. No matter what fantasies you might have, you will never ever rule over the people of the states of India. It has never been done in 3,000 years. Never ever. The only way India has been ruled. And you can look at any empire you want. You can look at Ashoka the Great. You can look at the Mauryas, you can look at the Guptas, you can look at anyone you want. It has always been ruled by conversation and negotiation.
Nasir Hussain, you can explain what Rahul Gandhi was saying there?
Yeah. Hey, see, I think the people those are questioning today Rahul Gandhi on his point of federal structure and federalism in the country either have scant respect to federalism or they don't understand what the country is. They want to impose something from the above. They want to centralize everything. This is what the current Prime Minister and the current party has been trying to do. He said that everyone.
One by one, Sanju Verma, may I request you to kindly wait for your turn, ma'am.
Or someone from the northeastern part of the India will have equal rights. Will have equal rights in this country.
No,
He
hold
said
on,
that
hold on.
India,
Sanju Verma, may I request you to kindly stop interrupting, ma'am.
As mentioned in the Constitution,
We've requested you to come on the show to give your party's point of view and not to interrupt and not to heckle, and that goes for all sides, please. Only Nasir Hussain.
You've already given him 2 interventions.
Okay, Nasir
already
Hussain,
gave him 2
explain to me, please put Sanju Verma's fader down, please. Nasir Hussain, explain to me, how is it that a person from Tamil Nadu, does he have different rights from a person from Nagaland? Does he have different rights from a sister in Maharashtra or somebody in Jammu and Kashmir? What is Rahul Gandhi trying to say, sir?
That is what you people are not understanding. He said a person from Tamil Nadu and a person from Meghalaya, person from Uttar Pradesh, person from Gujarat will have equal rights. You have to concentrate on all these states.
Hold on. But don't they have equal rights today?
Federalism. We are a union of states. You are not treating them alike. You are not treating them alike.
How? Sanju Verma, respond.
If you can't understand what is written in the constitution of the country, if you can't understand what is written in the constitution of the country, if you can't understand the spirit of our constitution, I am afraid you cannot take this country.
Okay, nobody will heckle you, but you will also speak, ma'am. My request is speak when you are asked to speak on the question that is asked, respond, ma'am. Rahul Gandhi says
Yes.
federalism is not being respected in Narendra Modi's India.
I will respond, and please don't be sanctimonious with me because you gave 2 instructions to the Congress spokesperson. That
Ma'am,
the
this is
reason
going
I
out of
interrupted.
your time, please. Stay on the subject.
Yes. Yes, so please don't be sanctimonious. Let it go for my time. I know what I need to do. I don't need your lectures. I will be very clear with the Congress spokesperson. The fact of the matter is that, this whole tamasha about cooperative federalism flying out of the window under the Modi government is a whole lot of hogwash, and I'll tell you why, Gaurav. GST, this is one of the biggest indirect taxation regimes which favors the state more than the central government. And the Vijay Kelkar committee recommendations came way in 2004. Tell me, why is it that the Congress slept on these recommendations for 10 long years? Today, do you know that the states compensated by the Modi government if there is a revenue deficit? And the biggest amount of revenue deficit compensation goes to opposition rule states like be it Kerala, be it West Bengal, be it Punjab, be it Rajasthan. And I want to say one more thing. Initially the 1 crore doses of vaccine, it was given to which state? It was given to states like Rajasthan. It was given to states like Maharashtra, who kept complaining about vaccine discrimination where there was no vaccine discrimination. My simple point is this. Congress was in power for more than 66 years. We did not even have 40,000 ventilators. The Modi government provided 50,000 ventilators during COVID. We did not even have 2 testing laboratories. Today, there are more than 300 testing laboratories. During Congress's time, there was only 39% sanitation coverage. Today, that is 100%. During Modi government's time, the financial inclusion is 100%. During the Congress regime, less than 5 out of every 10 people have access to a bank account. So the point is that transforming and making of a new India has been taking shape under Prime Minister Modi.
Fair enough. The charge that the Prime Minister has leveled at the Congress today is extremely serious. One, he's accused the Congress of being the leader of the Tukde Tukde gang. Two, the Prime Minister says the Congress doesn't take pride in Atmanirbhar Bharat. It mocks the Atmanirbhar Bharat initiative, even though that's so important. Let's listen in.
जितनी ज्यादा अर्थव्यवस्था ग्रो करेगी उतने ही रोजगार के अवसर पैदा होंगे और इसी लक्ष्य को लेकर के पिछले 7 साल से हमने इन चीजों पर फोकस किया है और उसका परिणाम है हमारा आत्मनिर्भर भारत अभियान। मैन्युफैक्चरिंग हो या सर्विस सेक्टर हो, हर सेक्टर में हमारा उत्पादन बढ़ रहा है। आत्मनिर्भर भारत अभियान के हम आज ग्लोबल वैल्यू चेन के हिस्से बन रहे हैं। ये अपने आप में भारत के लिए एक अच्छी निशानी है। हमारा बड़ा फोकस एमएसएमई और टेक्सटाइल जैसे लेबर इंसेंटिव सेक्टर्स में है। एमएसएमई की परिभाषा में सुधार, एमएसएमई की परिभाषा में हमने सुधार करके उसको भी नए अवसर दिए हैं। अपने छोटे उद्योगों को सुरक्षित करने के लिए एमएसएमई के लिए सरकार ने इस कोरोना के विकट कालखंड में 3 लाख करोड़ रुपए की विशेष योजना भी शुरू की है और उसका लाभ हमारे एमएसएमई सेक्टर को मिला है।
आज हिंदुस्तान में आप मेड इन इंडिया की बात करते रहते हो। मेड इन इंडिया हो ही नहीं सकता। आज बात खत्म हो गई है, क्योंकि मेड इन इंडिया वाले हैं कौन? मेड इन इंडिया वाले स्मॉल मीडियम वाले हैं, उनको आपने खत्म कर दिया। मेड इन इंडिया वाले कौन हैं? असंगठित लोग हैं, उनको आपने खत्म कर दिया, हटा दिया, परे कर दिया। मेड इन इंडिया नहीं होने वाला है।
नासिर हुसैन, मेक इन इंडिया नहीं होने वाला है। Why would Rahul Gandhi say make in India nahi hone wala hai? Is it not happening? Are you not proud if when the Prime Minister talks about defense equipment being manufactured in India for our forces at the borders?
Gaurav Sawant, I would definitely be proud if my country's exports are increasing. I will definitely be proud if my country's industrial production is improving. I will definitely be proud if my country's agricultural production is improving. I will definitely be proud if we are doing extremely well in MSME and the manufacturing sector. You tell me where is the data? Has this reflected in the budget? Has this reflected in the Pradhan Mantri's speech? Make in India means the people of this country manufacturing, the people of this country producing something. So that is not happening now. That is where the people of this country.
So you are saying Make in
seriously
India is not
you are
happening.
pumping
Sanju
money
Verma, respond quickly. You have 40 seconds on the broadcast. Quickly respond, ma'am. Only Sanju Verma.
Waiving of loans
You have to
of
give
the
me my time.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, Gaurav. Thank you. Gaurav, for everybody who says that Make in India is not happening, I want to tell them, please look at Bharat Biotech vaccine, which has been approved and acknowledged by the World Health Organization. It is one of the biggest success stories of Make in India. And quickly, in 20 seconds, Gaurav, today, thanks to Make in India, India has the third largest GDP in purchasing power parity terms. India is the second largest steel manufacturer globally. India is the third largest electricity producer globally. India has a stock market capitalization which is ahead of Germany and the seventh largest in the world. In the last 7 years, ease of business ranking has improved from 142 to, just about 63. In the global innovation ranking, we are up from 80 to 41, and we have surpassed United States as the best manufacturing destination, second only to China. And today we have 61,000 startups which are registered in India.
Okay.
Before 2014, there were only 500 startups in India. So the
Something that the Prime Minister
families
also
should do
referred
homework and
to.
come.
But this battle now downright personal, bitter, and only likely to escalate in the days and weeks ahead with elections round the corner. To both my guests, many thanks for joining me. We will track the story very closely. Up next is Union Railways Minister Ashwini Vaishnav joining us exclusive on the Budget Roundtable. Stay with us.